Tracey and Taboos. Today we're going viral for part 2. My name is Alana and today I'm with
Tracey McLean Lowe, and welcome back. We're talking of the good, the bad and the ugly. What else have you had in the news about the COVID?
There's so many different news articles, scientific studies, and there's a lot of misinformation being thrown around on Facebook. And I feel a lot of people do fall into that trap as to whether or not they believe it, whether or not it's from an actual scientific source.
It's brand new, even to scientists. They're all researching it. You've got the religious.
Yes.
And, we'll pray it all away. Thoughts and prayers. Everybody come to church. And then they wonder why they've got like 50 people sick and 5 dead. Terribly sorry. You caught COVID while you were praying. But the thing is, it's a new virus. Not even the doctors or the scientists or the chemists or the biologists or the virologists know exactly what it is. I mean, got some studies. I've got one French guy, a French virologist, who was saying he thought it was man-made. There's others that sort of like saying it's just a stronger version of SARS and MERS. Others are saying it comes from bats and wild animals. They're still not sure. You know, it could come from anywhere. There's also all the conspiracy theories behind it as well. Unless and people aren't prepared. They sort of like read this headline, this is going to kill you. They're not prepared to go into deeper to find out how a virus works. You know, they just panic. Like panic buying loo paper.
And then you have other people that are actually trying to make a profit from it. Like there was some idiot who literally had his garage full of cleaning tools, equipment, toilet paper, everything, and then he was selling it. So like, you know, and I think he even bumped up the price a little bit. Like, you know, he hoarded all this stuff and he was trying to make a profit, which I get, like, we've all fallen on hard times because we are without jobs at the moment. But like, come on.
That's what people do. They're either doing it on a small scale like that, or, okay, we don't want to mention names here, but the people who are saying that they want to invent this magic vaccine for these people, but it's going to have some kind of tracker in it so it can track whether you've had your COVID injection because you can't travel if you haven't had it. And hang on a second, what?
I wonder when you'll be allowed to travel outside of the country again.
It's got to happen sooner than they think. I mean, granted, America was trying to get Canada to open their borders earlier, but Trudeau and I think even Ontario Premier Doug Ford agreed, no, you don't open them too soon. Yeah. I've been impressed with our Ontario Premier and our PM on this matter.
Absolutely.
Everybody else outside of that, other than possibly some of like South Korea, New Zealand, Germany, I think believe is doing well. But then Angela Merkel is a scientist. Yeah. You know, she understands science, so she's not running around like a headless chicken without a clue, which is what so many others are doing.
How have you been like taking care of your mental health while all this is happening?
Well, put it this way, as I said, I've spent so much time at home isolated during winters here in Canada, or being semi-retired for the last like 7-8 years, that I do my writing and I'm always at home. I'm quite a positive and upbeat person anyway, so I don't suffer too much from depression too much. I know that I have to get up and do something, otherwise I just get lazy. I don't get depressed. I get lazy and I procrastinate a lot. Because it's spring and my garden, you know, looked like a jungle of weeds out there, and feeling frustrated by the fact that I didn't have all the freedom to make the noise when I wanted to make the noise in the house. There was just too much people around during my day and I didn't want them to be there. So they're alive only by the mere fact is I had a jungle of weeds to go whack. So
you haven't killed anyone yet? Okay, that's good.
Nobody said yet.
I just had to double check with that. They're still intact.
Yeah, you know, I have an axe and I have a saw and I've got things to chop down outside. So as long as I've got things to cut down and chop in the garden, my mental health is great and everybody else is alive and well.
That's sweet though. Speaking of gardening, my boyfriend's actually started to grow his own little herbs inside, and it is freaking adorable. It's so cute, and he's like literally going around with his little like water jug, and he's tending to his little like indoor garden. He has the little lamp and everything, and I'm just like sitting on the couch, just like, you're so fucking cute. Like he's fucking growing lettuce, spring onion, possibly peppers. Like he's got a good little stash going on. So that's what he's been doing.
They say necessity is the mother of invention. So yeah, I mean it's not like we're prisoners cell block H.
I was going to say
so many people with so many problems out there.
Speaking of mental health, especially when like the outside world has changed and you don't have the opportunity to, you know, go see friends or like do the things that make you genuinely happy. So it's very important to take care of your mental health during this time. But that's just something that I feel like everyone should be mindful of. Like, know when you're feeling sad, know when you're feeling down, because if you tuck those feelings away, you're just going to make it worse. So like you said, just getting up and doing something, like, there's been days where my mental health is just like really suffered, and like day before yesterday, I just like got up and I just moved my body for half an hour. I just did like a little half an hour work. But you know, just like getting up and doing something, just like switching the notion, switching the episode, just trying to move around a bit or have a little project can really help. There's a lot of fear and tension going around at the moment. It's definitely making it a bit more of a tense world out there.
You know, people are used to not spending so much time together.
And it brings me back to domestic violence in women, which is really sad, but about these women who don't have a safe place. They don't have a refugee place to go. They only know their homes, and with this quarantine and being locked down, they literally have nowhere to go. And there's not a time for them to maybe reach out. There's not a time for them to make a phone call, because as you said, perhaps those abusive partners, because they're away from the office and they're spending all this time at home, well, what is that then doing to these abusers' mental health? Or perhaps they're getting more frustrated, perhaps they're getting more upset, and who's the nearest target? Well, the wife or the girlfriend or the boyfriend or the husband.
Well, they were turning around and saying there was going to be a bit of a baby boom after this damn thing. And we're going, no, there's going to be more divorces.
I really wonder how much longer is this going to go on for?
I mean, that's a good question. Our governments haven't really planned for, you know, they do these kind of risk analysis, but they don't really plan for everything. And in some cases, you can't plan for everything. There's people who are really struggling through this. I mean, I don't know how some people are coping.
I'm really concerned because there's so many homeless people in Ontario. Well, I'm sure around the world, you know, there's lots of homeless people, but it's definitely something that I've noticed over here. And I worry for them. They don't have warmth to go to. They can't take a hot bath. They can't wash their hands. They are just literally out in the world and out in the face of this disease.
You've got some homeless people who have been put into parking lots. I don't even know whether they've got tents or anything decent to sleep on. They're just separated by a car parking space. And then, of course, you've got a lot of the people who are living in shanty towns in Africa, in South America. Yes. They don't have water. You know, we're lucky here in Canada. I mean, I've got friends in South Africa, I've got family in the UK, Australia. Some are doing okay, others not so much. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that, because they haven't really planned and made provisions for them in general, when it comes to situations like that, they're sort of like really buggered. I must admit, I'm really impressed with our local communities. I've signed up to a lot of Facebook communities around my area. And there's people who are making face masks for doctors when we were running really short and before they got all the PPE sorted out. There was doctors and nurses who were saying, anybody making them? And then a whole bunch of these people just started making the face masks for them and selling them on. And now they've gone from going to the doctors to selling them privately to people because they're just so... And they're just using leftover material and stuff just to help alleviate, really. And then they're going out volunteering to help people, going shopping for people. If you've got COVID in our local neighborhood, you can actually put your little message on there and saying, we're really locked down here, we need to get some shopping. And somebody will come up, oh, I'm in your area, I'll pop in and, you know, pick up your shopping for you. I mean, shopping's been quite nice. If you get too close to somebody, everybody backs away. But we're all smiling. I mean, go to the corner store and they've got one of those sort of like perspex screens up, you know, and the lady behind is wearing a mask and stuff like that. But I put my own potatoes onto the weighing thing, and instead of actually speaking, we're just smiling and going.
Honestly, a smile can just like make all the difference, can't it? Just like
it does.
Passing a smile along. It really just makes a difference because like it's just remembering to be kind. I think that's something that's really important at the moment, is just to be kind to people. The humanity, like the human touch and the human caring. And you know, people are very quick to judge at the moment as well. I feel people can be quick to judge about how people are dealing with their own journey in this quarantine. You know, you don't know what they're dealing with at home. You don't know if they're really 100% happy, if they're relaxing, if their world is falling apart. Like, you have no idea, like, people's journeys at the moment or stories. So, and in Toronto, it must have been this chap who, I don't know what he did for a living, but he just decided that he was going to do grocery shopping for people. And he literally go up to people's houses, they particularly older people, like maybe 80s plus. He was literally going over to their doors, pick up a little grocery list, and he was going out and shopping for them and then bringing it back. And he was like, no, you don't even have to come to the end of your drive. I'm going to drop it at your door and I'll go out and do your shopping. And I'm like, that is so amazing. That's like so selfless, just to go out of your way and just like dedicate all that time for other people who you don't even know. So that's amazing. It's finding the little positive nuggets, right? Let's just focus on sending some positive vibes out there. We will hopefully see you guys next time whenever we decide to come together and bring up some topics of discussion again. Thank you for joining us on Tea and Taboos. I'm Alana Kitchcake.
And I'm Tracey McLean Lowe. Thank you for joining us.